Hi there, welcome to day 57 of our Supersize You annual challenge. Today we are going through the, oops, I got an extra page here, the E of our super process, which stands for execute. We'll wait a second and talk about that. We'll talk about today's topic first, and then we'll dive into that and give you an action item for both. But if you're smart, you will combine them together, so you only have to do one action item today. Well, I want to show you a little bit about my process. This is how I plan out my videos. Some real talk here. And unfortunately, I can't read my writing. So usually I just do it to reinforce, okay, this is what I want to talk about. And today we're talking about confident visibility. How do we show up confidently no matter what? How do we actually, when we've talked about this is about the third time we've talked about visibility, using your voice, speaking up, making sure that you're seen and heard, and that you take up space. Why? Because that's how we build confidence. We build confidence every time we stand up for ourselves, every time we speak for ourselves, every time we are allowing ourselves to be visible. So why is that important? And I'll share Tammy's story in a minute. But why is that important? Well, if we're not seen, our people can't find us. And I guarantee that each and every one of us is here to help a certain group of people or certain people along the way, along this journey called life, right? I run across people all the time and they're like, oh my God, thank goodness I met you at just the right time. And that's how I feel about other people too. We meet people and people come in and out of our life. I talk about this a lot in relationships, for a season and for a reason, usually for a reason, and how long that season is will depend on how long it takes us to learn the lesson that they've come to teach us or that they've shown up in our life to teach us. Think about your past experiences and all the people that have come in and out of your life. And then what was the biggest reflection, or what is the biggest outcome of you having been, or them having been in your life, or you having been in their life? Because there's always a reason that we attract people into our lives. So first and foremost, we have to realize we deserve to be visible. And the only reason we don't want to be confidently visible, we don't want to be seen, is because we're afraid, right? We're afraid of failure. We're afraid of success. We're afraid of someone harming us. We're afraid of all these things that we make up in our mind that are absolutely positively not true. A lot of them are things from our childhood or from our past experiences that we've blown out of proportion to say, if anybody sees me, I'm not safe. Well, absolutely the opposite is true. Fear of judgment, fear of people comparing you to other people, fear of people criticizing you. It's all things, like all of our fears. The vast majority of time we have all these fears, and the probability of them happening is so small, it's beyond infinitesimal. And so we're just holding ourselves back. We don't want to do that anymore. So what are we going to do today? We are going to find one way to show up, to be visible. We're going to send a message to a friend. We're going to phone a friend. We are going to speak up or raise our hand in a meeting or in a gathering. We are going to do something that people are, okay, yeah, they're looking at me. I'm okay with that. So think of what that is, and then share in the comments below so we can support you and help you in that. Share what you're going to do or what you've already done and how it went. Because chances are you're not going to die from it, right? Unless you jump in front of a car or a bus or something, and then, the odds are not necessarily in your favor. So let's look at Tammy's story and what she shared for execution, or the execute step of our super process. We specified our target. What do we want? We uncovered what the actual current situation is, being super honest with ourselves. Yesterday we planned a path, and even if it's just the next step in the path, that's all we ever have to have in mind in order to take action. And when we take action toward that, the next step and the next step and the next step appear. I can't tell you how many times and how many situations that has been true in my life and in the life of the people that I work with. Okay, so Tammy, her execution, she's breaking down into different time frames. So every morning she says she reads affirmations, journals 3 things that she's good at. What a powerful way to start your day, and a confident way to start your day. When self-doubt arises, I need a magnifying glass. When self-doubt arises, challenge the thought by asking, is it true? What's the evidence? So she does that every day when things come up. Weekly, she's doing one courageous action. She either raises her hand, shares an idea, or tries something new. And it depends from week to week because she's in this for the long haul. Daily, she celebrates wins, things that go well in her life, out loud or at least in her journal. I will admit, I don't share my wins much because I don't want people to compare themselves to me. I want them to compare themselves to the best possible version of themselves. And I want to do that too. I want to continue to compare myself. What is the best possible version of myself that I could be? Monthly, so I just journal about it. Monthly, once in a while I'll share wins, but not too often. Monthly, she practices and does skill development. Every month, she is working on something to continue to improve, to continually learn and grow. Weekly, she connects with a supportive friend or a supportive person who she knows believes in her and will give her solid feedback that she can react on, or not react, but so she can act on to continue to grow and hone her skills in different areas. And then finally, in the evening, she reflects on what went well versus ruminating on what went wrong. Anybody out there a ruminator on what goes wrong? I used to just dwell on what went wrong, and guess what happened? I kept getting more things that went wrong. And then I did some self-reflection and some personal development work, and I learned that we get what we think about. We get what we expect. So if I expect to have a bad situation and then it happens, and then I play it in my mind over and over and over again, I'm just going to keep seeing more situations like that. So that's what Tammy's doing. I challenge you today to write down an execution plan similar to this, but in your own way. You don't have to do daily, monthly, weekly, but I will say I highly recommend it. I think if you pick one thing to do every single day and reading your affirmations and journaling 3 things that you're great at is probably one of the best possible ways you can start your day. All right. Any questions about that? Hit me up and ask. We're going to share one way we're going to be visible, confidently visible in the comments below, and let us know what you did and how it went, and let us support you in the community. That's what it's for. All right. Any questions? Hit me up and ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, see you tomorrow.